The gavel slammed, echoing the finality of the sentence. Wade Wilson, the man dubbed the Deadpool killer for his chillingly casual embrace of violence, sat emotionless. His gaze, cold and vacant, offered no solace to the families of his victims, nor a flicker of remorse for the lives he brutally extinguished. Found guilty of the double homicide of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz, Wilson now faced the ultimate price for his gruesome axe death. The courtroom, packed with grieving families and stunned observers, erupted in gasps as the judge delivered the verdict. For months, the name Deadpool Killer had haunted the city, a grim moniker born from whispers of Wilson's morbid fascination with the comic book anti-hero. Now the man whose own life seemed to mimic a grotesque parody of fiction was destined for a fate far more absolute than any comic book page could depict. The reign of terror began on an unassuming October evening. Christine Melton, a vibrant young woman known for her infectious laugh and boundless generosity, was found brutally murdered in her own home. Days later, the community was dealt another devastating blow. Diane Ruiz, a beloved local florist with a heart of gold, vanished without a trace. Her car, discovered abandoned on a desolate stretch of highway, offered a chilling clue: a single blood-stained glove resting on the passenger seat. As fear gripped the city, investigators worked tirelessly, piecing together the fragments of two seemingly unconnected lives. The breakthrough came with a chilling realization: both women had crossed paths with the same man, a drifter with a disturbing history of violence and a penchant for dark humor. His name, whispered now with a mix of dread and revulsion, was Wade Wilson. The details of the murders, as they unfolded in the courtroom, painted a horrifying picture of methodical brutality. Christine Melton, the prosecution revealed, had suffered a fate too gruesome to recount in its entirety. Evidence pointed to a struggle, a desperate fight for survival that ultimately proved futile. Diane Ruiz, kidnapped and subjected to unimaginable terror, was strangled before her body was callously discarded on the roadside, left to the elements like a broken doll. Each piece of evidence presented, each chilling testimony delivered, chipped away at the wall of indifference Wilson hid behind. The prosecution, led by the formidable District Attorney Sarah Miller, meticulously constructed a narrative of calculated cruelty, leaving no doubt in the minds of the jury that they were dealing with a predator who preyed on the innocent, a man who derived pleasure from inflicting pain. The defense, in a desperate attempt to humanize the seemingly inhuman, sought to paint a picture of a life marred by tragedy and neglect. Wade Wilson, they argued, was a product of his environment, a broken man shaped by a childhood marred by abuse and abandonment. They spoke of a young boy, shuffled between foster homes, who never experienced the love and stability every child deserves. Yet for all their efforts, the defense couldn't erase the chilling lack of remorse etched on Wilson's face. He remained a cipher, a void where empathy and compassion should reside. Even the most harrowing tales of his past couldn't explain the calculated cruelty he inflicted upon his victims. Section 5. Justice served. The jury deliberated for 3 days, their faces etched with the weight of the decision before them. The evidence was overwhelming, the details of the crime seared into their minds. When the foreman finally read the verdict, guilty on all counts, a collective sigh swept through the courtroom. For the families of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz, it was a moment of bittersweet relief. Justice, though it couldn't bring back their loved ones, had been served. As the judge sentenced Wade Wilson to death, the silence in the courtroom was deafening. Some saw it as a fitting punishment, a life for a life. Others grappled with the moral implications of taking another human life, even one as demonstrably corrupted as Wilson's. Yet, one thing was certain: the shadow of the Deadpool killer would forever linger over the city, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. Section 6. Christine Melton, a life vibrant, cut tragically short. Christine Melton, everyone agreed, had a smile that could light up a room, a devoted daughter, a loyal friend, and a passionate advocate for animal rights. Her life was a tapestry woven with kindness and laughter. She had a zest for life that was infectious, drawing people to her warmth and genuine spirit. She saw the good in everyone. Her mother, voice thick with grief, shared with reporters. She believed in second chances, in making the world a better place. It was this unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of humanity that ultimately led to her tragic end. Christine, always willing to lend a helping hand, had opened her door to Wade Wilson, unaware that she was inviting a monster into her life. Section 7. Diane Ruiz, A Heart of Gold, Silenced Too Soon. Diane Ruiz had a gift for nurturing life, both in the vibrant blooms she coaxed from her flower shop and in the hearts of those she touched. Known for her infectious laugh and her willingness to lend an ear, Diane was a pillar of the community, a beacon of warmth and generosity in a world that often felt cold. Her kindness, her friends and family would later say, knew no bounds. She treated everyone with respect and compassion, seeing the best in even the most hardened souls. It was this inherent empathy, this unwavering belief in the power of human connection, that tragically led her to Wade Wilson. Drawn to his apparent lost demeanor, Diane had offered him a ride, unaware that she was sealing her own fate. Section 8. Beyond a Shadow of a Doubt, The Weight of Evidence. The prosecution's case was airtight, woven together with forensic evidence, chilling witness testimonies, and the undeniable pattern of brutality that connected the two murders. DNA evidence linked Wilson to both crime scenes, while security footage captured him stalking his victims in the days leading up to their deaths. Perhaps the most damning evidence came from Wilson himself. In his apartment, investigators discovered a collection of news clippings about the murders, meticulously compiled and annotated with chilling indifference. It was a macabre trophy case, a testament to his twisted psyche and his perverse pride in the suffering he inflicted. Section 9. A city relieved, a community forever scarred. The guilty verdict brought a collective sigh of relief to a city held captive by fear. The Deadpool killer, the boogeyman who had haunted their waking hours and crept into their nightmares, was finally behind bars. The streets, once shrouded in unease, slowly began to breathe again. Children played in parks, laughter echoing through the air, a sound that now carried a bittersweet undertone. Yet, even as the city attempted to heal, the scars of Wilson's crimes ran deep. The families of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz faced a future forever altered, their lives irrevocably fractured. Their grief, palpable and raw, served as a constant reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked darkness. Section 10. Seeking answers, finding none. The Void of Remorse. In the aftermath of the trial, journalists and armchair detectives alike tried to understand what could drive a man to commit such heinous acts. They dissected Wilson's past, searching for a single defining moment, a traumatic event that could explain the monstrous path he chose. Yet, for all their probing, they found no easy answers, no single explanation for the void of remorse that seemed to define him. Wade Wilson remained an enigma, his motivations as impenetrable as his cold, calculating gaze. He offered no explanations, no apologies, only silence. It was this chilling lack of remorse, this utter disregard for human life, that cemented his place in the annals of true crime, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human heart. Section 11. Wade Wilson, facing a fate he crafted. As Wade Wilson sat in his cell, awaiting the sentence that would inevitably come, one couldn't help but wonder if he felt any remorse, any flicker of regret for the lives he destroyed. Did he think of Christine Melton's infectious laugh, silenced forever? Did he remember Diane Ruiz's gentle touch, her unwavering kindness? Perhaps in the quiet solitude of his confinement, he confronted the full weight of his actions, the devastation he wrought. Or perhaps the man dubbed the Deadpool killer remained lost in the depths of his own darkness, his heart a barren wasteland incapable of empathy or regret. Whatever thoughts haunted him, one thing was certain. Wade Wilson, the architect of his own destruction, now faced a fate of his own making.